See this island, every grace and
Hey guys, this is Evan, and a bunch of you guys have been asking me about the whole arrangement and production process behind the theme song that I co-wrote and co-produced with Linying this year. So here we are, let's break it down and see what's going on, okay? Right, first question, what's your reference and inspiration behind the song? Well, when we first started to work on the final product that you're hearing now, this was primarily inspired by two artists, Gracie Abrams and Maggie Rogers. So Gracie had this song called 21, and the acoustic guitar comping pattern is inspired by that particular song, and even the way we might make space and groove around the vocals is based on that. And Maggie, just a mix of a bunch of different songs, but yeah, if you listen to it, I think you'll be able to tell how we create that quiet intensity that builds to the big chorus. Is it you came out with this in 30 seconds? Hell no, not at all. We started this song in, I think, early September, late August, after the brief was given to us, and I think we only ended somewhere in May. But we did start to write the song in here. I think we kind of wrapped it up in about half a day. But yeah, not 30 seconds, not at all. How many grains of sand? Haha, funny, I don't know. A million? A gazillion? How many grains of sand do we have in Singapore? I have no clue. What are the synth sound design and epic drum stuff that we use? Oh, interesting. The synths primarily was inspired by, I think, the synth wave genre. I think it really helps to supplement the quiet sidechain piano stuff that we're doing with the 4-on-the-floor kick drum. The synths that we use, the Prophet right here, and the Juno. So those two are my main bread and butter. Well, with regards to drums and sound design, it was largely inspired by, well, the old school gated reverb drums, 80s, 90s, mostly inspired by Phil Collins. And I think one particular song was Separate Ways by Journey. You would see that the drum groove in the chorus is largely inspired by that, but I replaced all of that, the big acoustic rock drums, with the 808 kits and the 909s. One interesting thing to note is also the arpeggiators that we use in the chorus kind of replaces the function of a hi-hat. You know, in a modern production, we might probably use the hi-hat in a very trap genre-like way with all the interesting subdivisions going on, but in this case I thought it'd be good to add a little bit of busyness and create that same kind of effect but harmonically, supplementing the long soaring held notes of the vocals in the chorus with an arpeggiator. So you have that. How do you create anticipation in the lower verses for a big chorus? How do you nail that? I think you're talking about top line, right? I think it's interesting because we were very aware when we were writing that. So if you were to take like the first few lines of the verses, so one man on an island, one drop in the sea, and here we go. All it takes to set a wave and more. So that creates a lot of interesting contrast that keeps you interested, and then we go back into the verse with something familiar, single word and action. That syncopation, that anticipation helps you to create a lot of excitement with regards to top line, I think, and when that happens we have to supplement it harmonically by grounding it with chords on the downbeat, you know? The chord work of the song is relatively simple. It is intentionally done so. We spoke about this in a Sweetie interview. The chords, most of them were based around the chords that you could learn on acoustic guitar. Why we did so is because I felt that you would have a stronger emotional connection to the song if you were to, play. And the chords are easily accessible because, when I was a child, remember I was in primary school, I was able to play along to National Day songs, and I had a stronger emotional connection to that. So creating something easily accessible is important, simple but tactful, and distilled enough. So you have that. And of course, to kind of create that contrast, that big choruses, I think a lot has to do with, creating space and automation in my end with regard to production. So for example, you will hear that in the drums where there's this big snares, big snaps, or big gated reverb toms at parts, primarily because they are supposed to accentuate or bring you to a certain area. And that is supplemented with certain keywords in the vocalist being accented with these big reverb throws. Like if you listen to the chorus, island, anthem, you actually hear this big reverb trail going on, as compared if you listen to the verses, the vocals are a little bit more smaller, not so big in space, and frequency wise and mix wise is a little bit not so bright. So that helps when we create all these effects and throw them all together in one big production. The choruses will soar and it will land with this big gigantic impact. Last question. Erica asks, how many emotional breakdowns? Too many to count lah. Yeah, but it has been a fun ride. Yeah, but too many to count. Anyway, thanks for asking me all these questions. It's really humbling and really touching that you guys love the tune. If you have any more questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll be happy to reply them. Okay, see ya.